I'd say almost say we've got some of the rarest Japanese Subaru Imprezas on our channel, in the UK anyway. Welcome back guys to another video, and what we've got for you today is, as you can see here, you can't really miss the thing to be fair with it being a bright yellow car, is a sunrise yellow Spec C Subaru Impreza STi, and it's the hatchback variant. So, and I believe in sunrise yellow there was only 100 cars ever produced, so this is one of 100, and what an amazing example. It's an absolutely immaculate car. So yeah, with obviously last week's video we did the Spec C Type RA bug eye, so it was only kind of like natural to get another Spec C on the channel from a completely different generation, and what a beautiful example we've got here. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, Performance_Lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. And if you'd like to get your car featured on the channel, or you'd like to do some sort of a collaboration, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com, and we will be more than happy to accommodate. Yeah, but for today, an amazing Impreza STi Spec C in bright yellow. So even on a semi-dull day like today, it still brightens up the mood. So hope you enjoyed the video guys. We'll catch you outside the car. If you've seen a Subaru Impreza STi hatchback before, this looks exactly the same. But a true Subaru fan and a true petrol head will actually be able to distinguish between a normal STi and an STi Spec C, because the yellow was only kept for the Spec C variant of the hatchback, and that was only for the Japanese market. So this is a JDM car, as with all Spec Cs. So it looks like a completely standard sort of Impreza STi, and it is completely standard. But yeah, on the outside, it is literally, you got your standard 18-inch. I believe they might be made by Enkai wheels. This doesn't have the RE070 wheels that they came out with from the factory with, but it does have Toyo proxies, and it's also got the gold calipers. So that's another way of telling the difference between a Spec C and a STi. They will have gold calipers, whereas a normal STi will have black calipers. So again, and they do look quite good with the yellow paintwork and then the orange calipers. STi wing badge as well. This one is chrome. I think they look better in black, but with it being a standard car on the outside, well, a standard car near enough overall, it actually, yeah, it's got the standard, and they do look quite nice, and it's got the standard vent here as well, which I believe is a fake, but they have a wider track than a normal Impreza hatchback, so I think it's to fill a gap. And obviously, well, like I said, they've got a wider track, so it does actually look, aesthetically, it looks very, very nice and very pleasing to the eyes. And again, with it being a JDM car, you get your tinted windows as standard. There's no keyless entry. They've got rid of all that sort of stuff for the limited track, more track orientated models, which is what this is. And again, 18-inch wheels on the back with gold 2-piston calipers, whereas the front ones are 4-piston calipers. So you could tell the difference between a normal one and a Spec C, especially if you're a true petrol head, like I mentioned. They've not badged them as a Spec C, and I think that was just so if you've got a Spec C, you're not going to be a bit of a snob towards the non-Spec C owners. So they're literally on the outside, you've got your standard Subaru badge in the middle here, blue one, and a pink STi badge here. And they do also come with the 4 tailpipes, so quad tailpipes and twin on each side, which do look quite nice, and these are completely standard as well. And I believe the exhaust system is standard, the same as a normal STi. The only revisions that were made were thicker anti-roll bars, suspension's different, and the turbocharger it's a ball bearing turbo. And obviously with the diffs as well, this has a, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure it's a mechanical diffs as opposed to a torsion, so, or the other way around. But yeah, so but you can actually tell these do handle like they are on rails. Honestly, they're such an amazing car to drive, to own, to just get that driving experience out of one of these. And again, obviously you get your chrome, I say chrome, you get your clear Lexus style tail lights, which a lot of people weren't fan of, but you can buy inlays, which red inlays, which do actually smarten them up quite a lot. And I'm sure one of the cars that we've had on the channel in the past did have them. I will put a snippet up here if I can find it, and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, you can buy these things. They're probably 20-30 quid, and it'll cover the clear sort of part of the lens. And then obviously you do get your rear wiper, with it being a JDM, and I'm sure the UKs have it as well. And a spoiler, which does look quite nice. It's quite a deep spoiler. It's about, But other than that, it's actually quite it's a standard looking car. You won't be able to tell just from driving behind it that it is a Spec C, unless obviously you know what a Spec C is because of the colour. So what we'll do is we'll go inside the car and then we'll go for a quick little drive and conclude the video, because I think today we have left it a bit late, and with it being Burton-on-Trent, which is known as Burton on potholes and Burton on traffic, they've got roadworks everywhere and there's a shed load of traffic everywhere. So we'll try and get done as much as we can do. So the front end on the pre-facelift, I think, is a very simple sort of front end. They do have xenon lights. They're not automatic or nothing. So like I said, there's hardly any creature comforts in with that respect on a Spec C. And then obviously you do get the big gaping hole in the bonnet, which is the vent, just to channel all the air to the intercooler. Now the intercooler on these sits right underneath the scoop, which is the reason why the scoop is there. And it also does have an intercooler water spray for which the tank is in the boot. Now that is just a Spec C sort of a bespoke item, and I think it is good, especially when they're being driven around the track. It helps to cool the turbo down. It's got a function of automatic or manual, so you can manually add water to the intercooler, or automatic when it detects temperatures are getting a bit higher, sprays water on it, it cools it down, which is a great feature. But with the facelift bumpers, they're slightly different, and I think they're a bit more aggressive. These are quite a lot smoother, as you can see here, but it's still, you know, underneath all of this, it is still a Spec C. And so onto the inside. It's like a normal Impreza, especially a JDM Impreza, because you don't get your multifunction steering wheel, or you don't get cruise control on any JDM car, and let alone a Spec C. And with it being a Spec C, you don't get the push button start, so it is the old conventional key in the ignition. So this one doesn't come with the Recaro seats. Well, it's got the standard STi stitched bucket seats, half leather, half Alcantara. Yeah, they're you know, it's a 15-year-old car and they're in good sort of condition as well. And what you do get is the big rev counter in the middle. You get the speedometer on the side, and then you get your fuel and temperature gauges on the left-hand side. And the rest of the interior is fairly bog standard, as you'd expect with any STi really. You get your dials in the middle, your stereo here, your vents here, this dark smoke grey finish here. This one does have some aftermarket tweeters in there, and just, yeah, leather armrest on the doors, and the rest of it is all plastic. It's a Japanese car from 15, 16 years ago, and it is what it is. It's literally, you know, it does what it's supposed to do, and it does it very well. They weren't designed for this sort of stuff. Oh, it's got black roof lining as well, which actually does look quite smart. What I'll do is I'll show you quickly under the bonnet, and then we'll go for a nice little quick little drive, and then we'll conclude the video. And like I said, with it being a yellow Spec C, and we do have a Spec C Type RA bug on the channel, which was the last video, so do check that out if you haven't seen that. And we do also have the Hawk Spec C, we've got a Blob Spec C, we've got quite a few rare Scoobies, Bug STi, Bug STi Limited, Bug S202. We've got, I'd say we've got some of the rarest Japanese Subaru Imprezas on our channel, in the UK anyway. So yeah, do check them out. There is the heart of it then, the EJ20 lump. As I've mentioned on my previous videos, with it being a boxer engine, 4-cylinder, pistons go this way as opposed to up and down. It does look like a bit of a mess, especially if you're not used to seeing them, but this is exactly how they are supposed to be. You've got your standard air intake, air box, everything is standard, and there is the standard intercooler, which there's the vent, and it channels air into the intercooler, and all your belts are on the front, cam belts on the front there. And again, it's just a standard engine. There's no intakes, there's no aftermarket intakes, there's no aftermarket dump valves. There is this blue hose here, but I'm guessing that is going to be for the boost controller inside, and it is a Trust one as well, so Trust Gredy Trust. So yeah, this is it. There's not really a great deal to talk about. 315 brake horsepower coming out of that thing, and lighter car. I think they saved about 30 kilos on this car compared to a normal STi, JDM STi, and it does add up as well. The moment you see them on track, like I mentioned, there was a second quicker on a less than a sub-mile track in Japan, so put it on a lot longer, and you're talking, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds quicker than a normal STI, and the normal STI is a lot faster than a lot of other cars. So this is how capable these cars are. They serve the purpose that they were built for just fine. So what we'll do, we'll go for a quick little drive and then we'll conclude the video. So like I mentioned, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, Performance_Lifestyles. And we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. If you'd like to get your car featured on the channel, or you'd like to do a collaboration, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com, and we will be more than happy to accommodate. Catch you on the drive. The drive on this car is, simply put, great. Nobody buys a Subaru Impreza for comfort. Let's be honest, everybody who owns a Scooby bought it purely because of the fact that they can do so much. They are a all-round car. They're a capable car to drive, to do your shopping trips in, and they are a very capable car to drive around the track. And a lot of people have actually proven as well, they have been quicker around the track than a lot of other cars, a lot of other more powerful cars. And it just goes to show as well, and if you've ever driven a Subaru Impreza, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And then even if it's a normal WRX, they drive better than, you know, the rivals and stuff. They might not be as expensive or as powerful or as kitted out, but they do drive very well. But then if you drive an STI and then you realize that actually, you know what, the STI is, yes, it's a notch or two above. And then you drive a Spec C and you think, wow, these things are absolutely amazing. The gear change is so short and it zaps through the gears. Honestly, zaps through the gears so quickly. The spool is rapid, and I know I've said that before, but the way the turbo spools up is so good. Yeah, I made it. Momentum got me past that lorry there. No problems at all. But yeah, overall, honestly, they're a very good car. And we also do have a saloon Spec C on the channel, which was videoed a little while ago. So do check that out. And that was actually a very good car as well. It was standard again. Modified, I think they do have a bit more character. They're a bit more shouty and a bit more lively, but not lively, sorry, that's probably the wrong term to use, but they're a bit more shouty. And don't get me wrong, this is a great car. So I'm driving it in sports sharp at the moment, but you have the actual choice to put into intelligent mode, put into sports mode, or sports sharp. Now, from the get-go, these start off in sports mode. Now, sports mode is kind of like a standard mode for these cars. It is a sports car, so it kind of like, there's nothing, you know, but sports sharp really does sharpen things up. And the intelligent mode tells you when to change gear as well, so good going really. And then you've also got the option to put it into manual or automatic, your center differential, and you can put more power to the rear wheels. You can lock the diff to get you out of a sticky situation. There's a lot of things that you can do with this thing, and that is the same as every other Scooby, every other hatchback STI. But this car has got a boost controller, and on the fourth setting, I'm sure, is from what I've been told, is got the most boost, so it's probably running mid 300 brake horsepower. Again, that is just an assumption, and I've driven standard Spec Cs, and this does feel quicker. It does actually feel quite a bit quicker. It's got that kick, and I'll show you the moment we get out of this traffic, because there's just a shed load of traffic in Burton today. Again, it's like that was only a small short blast. These things rev to 8,000 RPM, well, 9,000 RPM. The red line starts at 8,000 RPM. Now, there's not a lot of cars out there that can do that, but a Subaru Impreza or a lot of other Japanese performance cars do have that. And they're great for it. Honestly, they are so good for it. Yellow MX-5. Got a nod off him. So they're just a very well-rounded car. And this does come with a MPA, Lamco boost gauge as well. Now, I don't know if that's standard or not. I'm not going to lie to you. I honestly don't know if that's standard, and I'm sure I have driven Scoobies in the past with them gauges, so might well be an optional extra, but it just sounds funny, Lamco, and it has got a Lamco gauge. But yeah, just hang on. So just come off that roundabout and yes, it's effortless. The turbo spools up so quick. So quick. It's like in third gear now, and this would sound so much better with an aftermarket exhaust. The standard exhaust is very refined, it's very quiet, so you could cruise along the motorway and you'll be perfectly fine. There won't be any sort of drone or any noises, but you've still got the power. And the moment you swap the exhaust over, yeah, you've got everything going then. That's the only one thing I'd say with these cars. With it being an Impreza STi or Spec C in this case, I think they need a louder exhaust because they're an ASBO car and they need the ASBO touch. Oh, this car is so good. It's rapid. You can see why they are a crowd favorite. They're a fan favorite. They literally stick to the road. They are such a mega car. These seats, bearing in mind they're not the Recaro seats, but they still hug you, they hold you in. Puts a smile on your face. This car is a Spec C Impreza is the one to go for. They are worth a small premium as well, especially with this one being yellow. But saying that, they will also hold residual value. So if you're thinking about you're going to lose a lot of money buying a yellow one because they're worth a lot more money, you won't. You will get that money back at time of sale, whether it be in 5 years time or 5 months time. You will not lose any money on these things. Because a yellow one, with it being one of 100, and I've also read one of 900, but I don't think there's 900 yellow Spec Cs. And I have got a little printout, which I will put a photo up here of it, and that does state 100 sunrise yellow Spec Cs. So this is an extremely rare car. And I am going to conclude the video now purely due to the fact that there's a ton of traffic out there, and I'm going to get caught in it now, otherwise I'm going to have to keep going back and forward between these roundabouts. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, Performance_Lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. And if you'd like your car featured on the channel, or you'd like to do some type of collaboration, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com, and we will be more than happy to accommodate and get your car featured. But for today, this is it. And as per usual, guys, stay safe, and we will catch you on the next video.